Hi, I'm Rick Lasky, Fire Chief for the City of Lewisville. We're here at the 4th annual Keeping Tradition Alive. It's bagpipers, drummers, honor guard units from all over the country. We have 26 states and Canada represented. We have some instructors from Scotland. It's absolutely incredible. It's the largest event of its kind anywhere. We're bringing folks in again from all over the country that participate: firefighters, firefighter paramedics, emergency medical workers, those that are in the honor guard units and that are playing the pipes and the drums and doing their things to do their communities proud. With me today is our very special guest and my best friend, Battalion Chief John Salka from the New York City Fire Department, from the FDNY, Battalion Commander, 18th Battalion. And John, today you came and you delivered a keynote for the folks that were here. And first of all, thank you for, what do you think of this group that's here?
Great, fantastic. I've heard about the conference over the years from you, of course. Always look forward to coming here, and this year I got the invite, and of course to do the keynote as well, so I'm thrilled, and it's a great, energetic bunch of people here. Great.
Well, and John, this is obviously the 10th anniversary approaching rapidly here of September 11th, and you and I, we're together all the time, and I tell folks it was hard enough losing the good friends that I lost. I can't imagine. I can't even begin to try and imagine what you went through with your department, with that many, the talent that was lost, the heroes, the parents, the sons, it was just absolutely just takes your breath away to think about what you guys went through. It's been 10 years, and New York City, the FDNY, how are you guys doing? And 10 years later.
Well, I answer this question a lot, and I've actually answered it a lot over the years too. Even right after 9/11, people asked that, and I do remember doing an interview one time just a few years after 9/11, and I remember my answer. My answer was, "We're going to be just fine," and I'm here to report that we are just fine. Actually, a great many of our people, probably 2/3 of the people on the FDNY, if not more, got on the job after 9/11. They're not veterans of 9/11, but obviously they know what happened. The department professionally is back on its feet. We've had an awful lot of training, awful lot of changes made from our Marine Division to radio transmissions and accountability, and all sorts of stuff has been ratcheted up. So in spite of the fact that we remember the tragedy and all the losses, and we do, and we honor them, the FDNY is in great shape right now.
Well, and we talked about the talent. You guys, you lost so much talent. I mean, the Ray Downeys and the folks that were, the way that department and the leaders when it came to USAR, so many different things, but yet now you're still saving lives, you're still fighting fires, you're still responding all over the world to help people. You and I talk about the fact that, we don't like to refer to it because of the sacrifices that were made. It was as a result of the sacrifices that were made by Andy Fredericks and so many incredible people that we are better. We're responding to disasters better as a country, and New York City. What was the campaign they had on the side of buses? If you
see something, say something.
If you see something, say something. Which in Times Square with the attempted bombing and all the things that probably would have happened, right? Mm-hmm. That weren't because of the training and because of the awareness now and everything else. You've got to be proud of how that city has just come back.
Right, bounce back is the word, and not just the FDNY, but the NYPD and city government and private industry and all the folks that live in New York City. It really has, it's really a testament to, I guess, to just human nature. People really want to bounce back. Every city that's suffered traumatic, events like 9/11 have bounced back, and New York City is no exception.
Well, and there were so many heroes, and they weren't all firefighters and police officers. There was some. You've told me there's countless. Every day, 10 years later, people are still telling you stories of heroic actions that were taken by people that weren't wearing a helmet or a gun, and it just says something about the people that came to, the people that stood up that day and did what was right.
I remember working the first week or two up on the top of the pile trying to cut, and we cut and removed lots of firefighters. There were construction workers, iron workers, and people of that, those trades were there. I don't know if these folks were being paid. I don't know if they weren't being paid. I don't know if they were there on their own time or if their company sent them down. But there's guys that aren't used to really working around dead bodies and the stressful situation that we had there. And there they were with us, sucking it up and doing the right thing. And it was, we're always very fast to acknowledge our own sacrifices and our own heroics. But there were plenty of tradesmen and ordinary folks out there doing the right thing as well.
Well, before we end this, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Tell us about Billy McGinn. Billy McGinn taught for us, but what an incredible, Well, you know, we like to tell the funny stories and remember all the good things that happened before that horrible day. But just tell, if you were going to describe for some of the folks here in Lewisville, tell us about Billy McGinn.
Yeah, Billy was a good friend of mine. He was a lieutenant in 48 Engine where I was a captain. Actually, we started out together as firemen, and I really didn't like him when he was a young fireman. He was the college kid, and I was the dopey older fireman. But we got to like each other, and we spent some time in companies together as lieutenants and captains and firemen, and eventually he ended up down in Squad 18. Billy was just a great guy that was very bright, great instructor. He loved the job, and he was into the job. One of our sayings on the FDNY is, now that you're on a job, get into the job, which means, you know, pour yourself into it and enjoy it. And Billy always did. Where you and I did a lot of work together at FDIC, Billy was there. He was just a great guy. As a matter of fact, Billy McGinn was probably the first guy at 9/11, the first guy on September 11th to say on the radio, and I've heard it myself, it's caught on radio. Billy McGinn said that plane flew right into the building, advised units that this may be an act of terrorism. And he recognized it. And, of course, he was lost that day along with Andy and all the guys in Squad 18. But Billy was a great guy, and seeing his picture on the screen this morning, a little unexpectedly, was a pleasure.
Well, you know, a pleasure, and in a way we always honor. And you remember I told you about the 1 year anniversary here and one of the local pizza places. John and I teach, again, all over the country, and we were at a conference, and we used to treat our instructors to pizza and some wings and things after they worked, you know, long. And one of the other instructors ordered the 25 pizzas, and he ordered one of these, I guess you call it a Hawaiian pizza.
Right.
With
ham and pineapple.
Canadian bacon or ham and pineapple, and we're opening up the boxes, and Billy McGinn looked at it and said, who put Canadian bacon and pineapple on my pizza? And you could fill in the rest of the blanks. And we all kind of laughed, and he ate. He goes, this is pretty good. And from that point on, it was called the Billy McGinn Pizza.
Right, and we always have them every year.
And the local establishment here, when we did the memorial, brought by 30 pizzas, and they named it the Billy McGinn Pizza for the day. And and that's just one story of some, you know, Andy Fredericks and Ray Downey, and then the list goes on of some great people.
For sure. And you know what? Being on the FDNY, being there when it happened, being on the job since then for the 10 years since 9/11, and talking to people, I still find and hear brand new stories. Every time I talk to a guy that was on my job or a guy that was there in some other capacity, I hear brand new stories 10 years later, and I imagine we'll probably be hearing brand new stories forever.
Well, John, hey, thanks. I can't thank you enough, brother, for coming to spend some time with us. The guys and gals loved you down here. They loved your talk. Thanks, buddy. I love you. Thank you. We're with Battalion Chief John Salka from the 18th Battalion in New York City in the middle of the Bronx. Go Yankees. Sorry. But we were privileged and honored to have John come down for Keeping Tradition Alive 2011 as our keynote speaker and our very special friend.